Hi, this is Mohammed Sadiq. In this session, we learn about group functions in SQL Server. So generally, when I talk about a group function operates on a set of rows to give one result per group. Like example, when you see we have the employees table and every employee is getting a salary. If I want to know what is the total salary, which has to do the complete sum of this, or I want to know what is the highest salary from this group, it has to find which is the highest, the average salary. So these are like a group function which works on a group of rows and returns one result, okay, for the group. Okay, I think now in Microsoft SQL Server or any database, we have some of the group functions. We'll see some of these group functions. So we have sum, average, count, min, and max. So when I say sum, it does a summation of series of values. Average returns the average of a series of values. So count, like, it counts the number of records you want to find. So that is where exactly we use the count. And max, okay, we have a measurable value, say salary or something. I want to know what is the highest salary, or the min is to find the lowest salary in the group of values. Okay, let us see with the example. So here I have this particular employees table. I've just taken this particular HR data. Okay, so where I just have some employee ID, first name, last name, and so on. I have imported this data into my SQL Server. And when you see here, I have a measurable value is the salaries. Okay, so I want to know what is the total salary, average salaries. So we'll just see how do we do this with the help of the aggregate that is aggregate functions, or we also call it as the group functions. Okay, let me write to my SQL. This data is present in my database called as Sadiq. Use Sadiq, that is the name of the database. So when I run this, the database is selected. So in this, I have stored this particular data, the table named as employees. Select star from employees. Okay, so this is just going to get me the same data. You can see I've just imported the same data here. Okay, now what I want is we have this particular measurable value, say salary. I want to know what is the total salary. Okay, so I want to know what is the average salary, highest salary, or I want to know even the count of employees. That is where we'll use the aggregate functions. Okay, let us start working on this. So now first thing is, so let me see, first thing is I want to know how many employees are there. So we have around 20 employees. So I have to, when you have a huge list, you have to scroll like this and then check how many values. That becomes really very tedious work. So I just want to get the result telling that, okay, I have 20 employees. I have X number of employees. So if I have to do this, so what is that we do is we use this particular function called as count. Okay, so I have a function called as count. And in the count function, you can pass the column name. We can pass the column name. Now, we generally use a star. Star represents what? Star represents all the columns. Okay, so that means generally it represents the rows. So if you want to find the number of records, the star is the safest way to find the total number of records. What I mean to say is you can specify the salary, you can specify the gender, you can specify the first name, but if there is a null value, count will not be counted, but star will count the number of row. So that means if the row contains at least one of the value and one of the column contains a value, that is counted as a record. So safest way to find the total number of records, and the easiest way, instead of mentioning the column names, star is more easy to mention that. So this will tell me the number of records. So that means it says 20. So that means I have 20 records. Cool. Now we have this particular salary. So I want to know what is the total salary. Okay, so if I want to know what is the total salary, I'll just say select sum of salary from the employees table. So this will tell me what is the total salary. So which is going to be the sum of all those values. It says 1,56,300 is the total of all the salary. So what I mean to say is, so this value is what is there. So if I write this particular formula in Excel like this, so I just say is equal to sum of this particular value. What is that we get? 1,56,300. Hey, I want to know what is the highest salary. So we use a function called as max, is it? Max of this particular range of data. So that will tell me what is the highest salary, okay, lowest salary, average salary. So let us see how do we write these things. Okay, see, I can write in the separate functions or I can write side by side itself. So sum of salary is giving the total salary. Now I say what is the highest salary. Okay, I'll just use this particular function called as max of salary. So this will tell me the highest salary. So, okay, you can see the total salary is 1,56,300. The highest salary for any employee in that particular list is 16,500. Hey, what is the lowest salary of the employee? I'll just say min of salary. So this will tell me, okay, so that means we have around 20 employees. The highest salary for any employee is 16,500. Lowest is 2,800. And the total is 1,56,000. And what is the average? Average of salary. Okay, I'll add even the count also. Count of staff. Okay, so now you can see this one I have separated with the comma. Okay, you can even use the alias name to make the output as more explanatory. Okay, instead of giving no column names. Fine. We have studied about the alias name in the previous sessions. So now here you can see is, okay, so it is just trying to show me like what is the total number of employees. Okay, so we have a count of star is telling me total number of employees. Sum of salary is telling me what is the total salary. The max is telling me the highest salary for any employee. So this min is giving me the lowest salary for any employee. Average is giving me what is the average salary of the employee, all the employees. So average salary is going to be your total salary divided by the count. We have 20 people. So 1,56,000 divided by 20 should be like, 7,815 divided by 20. No, yeah. Okay, this is how we are able to extract this particular data. These are like aggregate functions. Okay. Fine. So now this is applying on the whole table. So that means this aggregation is applying on the whole table. Like when you select, so what is the total here? We have this, no? So we have the average, count, min, max, sum. Okay, this particular values we are able to extract as a one group. You know what I want is, I want to divide this data into smaller groups and then I want to apply the totals. Let us see this particular example here. We have employees working in different departments. We have a retail department. Okay, we have many employees working in the retail departments. We do also have employees working in, say, automotive departments. Okay, so we have many employees working for automotive departments, healthcare departments, and so on. You know what I want is, I want to know in each department how many employees are there. In each department, what is the salary expenses? I want to get this particular data. Okay, let us see how do we do this. Okay, so I want to know what is the total salary. It says 1,56,300, but I just want to know in each department wise what is the total salary expenses. That 1,56,000, I want that to be divided based on the department wise. I want to do the grouping. Like in Excel, what we do generally, we use a subtotal for this. Okay, something similar to that. So in SQL, we have something called as a group by. Okay, let us try to understand this. Okay, fine. So if by default, whole table is considered as one group and it is applying the totals, I want to divide this data into smaller groups. So we use the group by. So what a group by does, it partitions the table into subsets where each subset has values in common. So that means all the retail as one. That means when you say group by department, all the retail becomes as one group, healthcare becomes one group. And on that, you want to apply the calculations. That is where exactly we use this. With aggregate function, group by clause produces a single value per aggregate. So that means for each group, you will get an aggregated value. So each group, I want to know number of employees, the total salaries. That is where exactly we use the group by. Now let us see how do we use this group by. Okay, so as example, so department 10, what is the total salary? 20, and so on. So we'll see practically here in this case. Yeah. So now let me go with I say total salaries. Fine, or we can say select sum of salary from the employees table. Okay, so this will just tell me like, what is the total salary in the employees table. Fine, 15 lakhs. 1,56,300. You want to get even the count of employees. So you can also say count of star. So count of star will tell me we have 20 employees. Okay, come on. So we have 20 employees and the total salary for the 20 employees is 1,56,300. Now I want to divide this. Okay, let us give a heading for this. So instead of telling count of star is the total number of employees. No, I'll just say the heading here as number of employees. Okay, and so I need to put in the square bracket. Yeah. So I'm just giving alias name. Since alias has a spaces here, I'm putting a square bracket. Okay, and I want to find the total salary. I'll give the alias here as total salary. Okay, fine. So you'll get the output instead of telling us no column name. So you will get this as number of employees. Total number of employees we have 20, and the total salary is 1,56,300. I want to divide this based on the department. So that is what we discussed now. So I want to see this each department wise. Retail department, what is the salaries? So we generally have to arrange it and then I have to do this. So SQL will take care of those particular things. So for doing this, what is that we do is we just add additional clause called as group by. Group by department, the column name. That's it. Okay. So when I run this particular query, so now what happens is it has been divided based on the departments. Now, the total number of employees 20 is being divided as 2, 4, 3, 7, 4 and 7 respectively. But what is that 2? What is that 4? What is that 3? They belong to some department. Now, without knowing the name of the department, this information is less informative, I can say. So for that, what I do is, see, one more thing is, whenever you use aggregate functions, you cannot use the normal columns. Okay, that means the regular columns, I cannot use it. But if we are using aggregate functions and also using a group by, so then we can use a group by column. Okay, since I'm dividing this based on the department, I'll include the department here. So now you can see your output will be more explanatory, more clear, telling that we have some employees working for all the departments. That is, we have 2 employees. Their total salary is 31,000. Expenses for department wise. Okay, automotive, we have 4 employees working in automotive department. Their total salary expenses, okay, of all the 4 employees is 31,800. So we have 3 employees working for finance department. Their total salary is 24,000. So we can use average salary and so on. Okay, healthcare, we have the highest number of employees working, 7, and their average or say total salary is 41,800. So this is what is your group by does. So group by is subdividing the data, okay, into smaller groups and then getting the results. So exactly I can say is, if I run this previous query and this one, the previously it was showing me the total output, total number of employees and total salaries, but this was not divided in the group. So whole table becomes as one group when I'm not using a group by clause. But in the case of second one, since I'm using a group by, so the data is divided based on the grouping column. So since I have given group by department, so department wise it has been divided and then the aggregations is being done. So that 20 is divided as for the each department wise. This 1,56,000 is divided into each department wise. What is the total salary expenses? Okay, this is what is your group by function does. Now, this. Okay, fine. That is about your group by. The next thing is we also have a having clause. What is having clause? Having clause is very similar to your where clause, means it is used for filtering. But having clause is used to filter on your grouped data. After grouping, whatever the results that you get, on this you want to filter. That is where you use the having clause. Using the having, we can filter based on the aggregate functions. Having is used after the group by clause. So that means always the having has to be used after the group by clause, and it is used to filter on your aggregated data. So what I mean to say is, when you look at this particular data, this is my aggregated data. So department wise, the number of employees and the total salary expenses. We have this number of employees and the total salary expenses. Now I want to filter. Now I want to see only those particular departments where the total salary expenses is more than 25,000. Okay, so I want to see only those departments where salary expenses is more than 25,000. See, in all and automotive, we have more than 25,000. Healthcare and this one also, but as finance departments, we have only 3 employees and Total salary is only 24,000, not touching the 25. So I want to filter on this result, not on the actual table. Okay. So that is where exactly we use the having clause. How do we use the having clause? So as in the slides, it says it has to be written after the group by. So after group by, I'll just say having. Okay. See, in the where clause, you cannot use aggregate functions to filter. Okay. So where clause is used to filter on your actual data, the source table, but having is used to filter on your grouped data. So here we have a total salary. Okay. So which is nothing but sum of salary. I can use having sum of salary is greater than 25,000. Fine, that's it. So it will filter only those particular records where the total salary, that is sum of salary, is costing more than 25,000. When I run this, so you can see here, so that particular finance department is not there because that was not satisfying the condition given. Okay, so this is where exactly we use the having clause. Okay, so the difference between the having and the where clause is having is used to filter the data, but in the having clause we can use the aggregate function. Second thing is having clause is used to filter on your grouped data. Okay, and things, and always having has to be written after the group by clause. Fine. Yeah, apart from this, we also have a clauses for doing a super aggregate functions. Super aggregate function is what? You want to get the total as well as you want to get the grand total. Okay, so I want to get the total as well as you want to get the grand totals. So that is where exactly we use a roll up. So let us see an example of this, and very useful when you are going with something like multiple columns. Okay, generates a report that contains the subtotals and the totals, that is subtotal value as well as the total value, shows the aggregation for hierarchical values. If you have some hierarchical data, I think I'll come to the hierarchy. Let us see one simple example here. See, whatever we have done this one. Okay, the same query, I'm just rewriting it again. See, when you run this, we have the department wise, the number of employees, and the department wise, what is the total salary. I want to display this, but at the same time, I want to display the total number of employees and the total salary also. So what I do, after the group by, I'll just use the keyword called as with roll up. So this will create a super aggregate. Let me run this. Yeah, now you can see the difference in this one is, see, in the case of the first query, okay, the group by, I'm getting the department wise, what is the number of employees and the total salary for each department wise. Like in all department, we have salary expenses of 31,000. For automotive department, we have 31,800. All this data is there. Apart from all these particular things, so we can see we have this particular department null. That means irrespective of the department, we can see we have total employees is 20 employees. Total salary expenses 1,56,300. We are able to get the status. Clear? Okay, so this is your group by, but let us see with multiple hierarchical values. Okay, now let us take an example here. I have done a slides here. Shows aggregation for hierarchical values in a selected columns with roll up. Okay, let us see this example. Now, with roll up is a super aggregate functions which returns grand total, subtotal, as well as the group wise total, group totals. Okay. When you look into this, I have something called the same data I'm just taking. We have a continent as well as the country. Okay, under each continent we have many countries. So I want to divide the data. Okay, instead of showing as a country wise sales, I want to show in the each continent what all the countries are there. For each country, I want to know how many employees are there and the total salary. Okay, I'm trying to find the number of employees and the total salary for each country wise as well as the continent wise. So this is showing me the country wise total, and you can see this particular data here is showing the country wise what is the total, as well as I'm able to get the continent wise what is the total. So that means in Asia we have two countries, China and India, for which I have the employees. In China we have one employee, in India we have 3 employees. Totally in Asia, from Asian countries we have 4 employees, and in China we have one employee getting the salary of 6,500, and India we have 3 employees getting the salary of total salary of 18,500. Total salary expenses of Asian country is 25,000 what we are spending. Cool. Okay, so same way in Europe, we have a France and Germany. We have one employee from the France, three employees from Germany. France may we have expenses of 9,000, and in the Europe we have three employees and total salary is 22,000. So total salary of European employees is 31,800. We are able to get this. Apart from this particular things, we can also see that, so we are able to get the grand total also. So you can see, so we are getting four different types of totals. One is the grand totals, as well as we are getting the continent wise total, as well as the country wise total. Okay, so that means this one individual, what you see, this is the country wise total. The yellow color one, so is nothing but your continent wise total, and the red color what I have put is the grand total. That is irrespective of the country, continent, you want to get this. Okay, let us write the query to get this one. Okay, fine. I'll just take this particular thing. Okay, so now so I'm just taking the same thing here, guys. A group by, I'll just say country. Let me go with this, and I'll just put the country here. See, when I just say country, comma, count of star, which is telling the number of employees, sum of salary, which is the total salary from employees, group by country. So in this case, what happens? We are able to see the country-wise number of employees and the salary. Now I want to put in a hierarchy. See, the country, one continent has many countries. So I'll put a continent here. So I say continent, comma. Okay, so that means grouping. This is grouping based on multiple level. Okay, continent, comma, country. So when I go with a continent, comma, country, so you can see this particular will be further divided as under North America. Canada comes under North America. We have 4 employees. Okay, in Asia, China, we have 1 employee, 6,500, and Asia, India, 3 employees. We have 18,500. Hey, now what I want is, I want to get this results, but I want to know what is the total salary expenses. Okay, for that I'll just use a roll up. But I want to see not only the total salary expenses, I want to see the continent wise what is the total salary expenses. Country wise, as usual, we have Canada, we have total, this is 33,000. So I'm getting country wise, but I want to get the continent wise total as well as the grand total. So for that, I'll just use this thing called as with roll up. I'll just add this additional keyword as with roll up, and I'll run this one. Yeah. So you can see we are able to get this particular results here. So when you look into this particular results over here for this particular query, what I have just written now, I'll just put it. See here, we have this one is null. That is irrespective of the continent, irrespective of the country. We have total 20 employees and their salary is 1,56,300. Cool, fine. The second thing is, okay, let me take a blue color here. Okay. Now, when you see each country wise, like Asia, okay, irrespective of the country, Asia continent, we have 4 employees, total salary is 25,000. Europe, you can see null, country is null, irrespective of the country, the continent wise total. In North America, again, we have 2 countries here, Canada and USA. Totally, we have 9 employees. Total salary expenses from North America is 82,700. South America, we have only 1 country, Colombia. We have 3 employees from there. We have 3 employees from there, and total salary is 16,800. So red color is the grand total. This blue color is the continent-wise total. As well as, I'll put in the yellow green color. Yeah, this is the each country-wise. Okay, what is the total? China, we have 6,500. In India, okay, we total salary expenses is this. So when you see in Europe, France, okay, we have 1 employee, 9,000. In Germany, we have 3 employees, 22,000. Okay, so that means we are able to get 3 output. That is the country-wise sales, as well as we have continent-wise what is the total salary expenses, as well as I have a grand total. Okay, so that means one query is giving me 3 outputs. That is, it is giving me the grand total, subtotals, as well as the individual group-wise totals. So this is what we are able to get with the help of the roll-up function. So this is, we call it as super aggregate functions. Okay, by just adding an additional keyword called as with rollup, we are able to do this. Okay, thank you for this particular session.